even with medication that are completely legitimate prescribed. This is don't drive, don't do this, be careful with this, be careful with that, because it's impairing. So, because that's how they make money and how that they control everyone. Because see, if I throw a rock to a guy who has a bump, and I go throw it to them, and then what's going to happen? They can't even push on it, it's not going to stop. It's not about me. I don't have internet anymore. I don't have whatever you want to return. National Security, FBI, CIA, DEA, Army, Navy, Air Force. I don't buy that one.
Yeah, I just seen like every time I see Spanish people or anyone, because I can relate with everyone. I was friends with everyone. I told them, hey, just pass this along. They're making you work, and you get a new car from this auction place. All these new cars. Only for you, because they have eyes on everything, and only for you to mess up a little bit, and then auction it, take it away, and you'll get set up and go in jail, and then you're just stuck in the system.
Look, I used drugs when I was 14. I'm 59. I've never seen a kilo of cocaine. I've never seen half a kilo of cocaine. I've never seen a pound of weed. I've always, and I pay for my dope. I was never being broke, I pay for shit. I just want to tell you. Look,
You're just that
white shirt, nice tie, Congress up. Money is the name of the game. Why do you think there's so much construction in America?
Oh, because I looked at it. I look at that. Oh, they don't even need. They just.
I'm just saying,
go by
this public construction.
Yeah, and $20 million to fix the homeless problem, and all this stuff would be done.
I don't know. It's weird. So, in addition to the fact that who's an alcoholic or addict, there's a play with personality. The addictive personality. However, addictive personality over the last, 30 years ago, it became the shit. Everybody was talking about, I have an addictive personality. Today, the term in the last 10 years has been challenged into is it really a thing or not? Because if I become addicted to porn, alcohol, coke, dope, needles, or whatever, it'll be really easy to say you have an addictive personality. But anyone can develop addiction anyways. Anyone can develop an addictive personality.
So, because they want those endorphins.
Yeah, so I'm inclined in the debate of the challenge. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Emotional problems, that could also be a part of the deal. You know what I mean? People who are being abused, gone through war, severe stress, and war combat, related issues and whatnot. Yeah, that's also part of the equation. In a 50-year study, University of Harvard was following individuals, and they discovered that those who had depression were twice as likely.
Serotonin.
Well, alcohol is a depressor of the central nervous system, as you know, and I know. So at first, when it's depressing you, you experience this euphoric stage, but it's very temporary. Immediately after, people go into that depressed mood, started remembering the sad, the bad, the negative. When I used to be in love, when I started music, the wife that died 20 years ago, and he cried like he was dead yesterday, reviving all these things and whatnot. So those who were having anxiety and depression and later used marijuana, they were able to identify that there were so many people who were I mean, it's not much of anxiety and depression taking you to use weed, but there was a lot of weed use that ended with anxiety and depression. This is a research study, not whatever people say. Now, for many people in this same study, high-risk use led to more depression and anxiety, and abstinence to less depression and anxiety. 75% of the same individuals in that study did not self-medicate, contrary to what most people will say, oh no, there's an addiction. So when they try to identify which one was the cause of the other, 87% of people with these two type of problems were I went through severe emotional problems. In fact, the last year of using, I would go from violence, melancholic,
What's that?
deeper depression,
Wow.
and even attempts to suicide. But when I started treating my alcoholism and addiction, so I entered recovery, a lot of those emotional problems got better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been 28 years sober, and even though I had sadness, confusion, pain, depression, and all the therapy or psychotherapy, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact who has alcoholism and addiction and emotional problems, for them, treating emotional problems only will never fix the issue. Because alcoholism and addiction will inflict a lot more complications than people anticipate.
I'm glad I don't like alcohol.
So,
I started off as this kid who was very well behaved, and I did everything my mom said to do. But when I started drinking, I became really angry, and I didn't know why, and depressed.
I was never doing alcohol because I was depressed. And pretty much alcohol was relieving the depression.
And so I just eventually kind of came around to realizing that was maybe the piece that I needed to take care of.
She was drinking because of her problems, and that the therapist helped her realize that it was all the problems that she had because of her drinking and drug usage. In reality, it was that all these all kinds of problems, but not. I have used marijuana for 12 years, and I know what marijuana does to you. Number one, marijuana is a drug that convinces you that everything is alright. The same way that alcohol convinces you that you are a lot less impaired than you really are. You see people who are like us, even my kids, bro. I'm leaving. I gotta work in 10 minutes. They're like, me, you're out fucking driving you dead. It's because they're convinced they're a lot less impaired than they really are. That's alcohol. With weed is different. Weed convinces us that everything is alright. Nothing anymore. Ain't nothing wrong in our life. Because it just keeps convincing you. It has that ability to. There's no urges.
Well, I would have to disagree with you on that one.
Well, because you don't have to agree with me. I'm just speaking of what I've seen, what the researchers that have done, and what my personal experience it is. Because I've never been as productive as to the day that I dropped everything, alcohol, marijuana, coke, and all the shit.
Weed is like spinach for me. It's different. It's different on everyone.
I have anxiety, and for me, marijuana was the best thing the world had been able to find. Because marijuana never put me down to sleep. In fact, I found a ground that it was just nothing but perfect. However, regardless of that perfection that I always experienced, it was a feeling.
Oh, it's kind of a place
It was
to
a
use it.
feeling that was being filled. That's right. However, in a large number of individuals who have done both, and I was using absolutely. In fact,
It's medicine.
I'm honest. It did save my life. My life was misery. I was miserable at home, and if I wasn't for weed, because I remember my dad would beat me up and whatnot. But I knew tomorrow after school I'll be going out with the homies. I smoke some love, lies in my eyes. I got home, you didn't keep me out. Give me a fuck about you. Feel me? And then life was tolerable. Unfortunately, the years to come changed a lot. Other factors and whatnot.
You can see how when I talk to other people, you can see the different things. But there's words being taken out, like about him being a shrimp farmer, gun runner. He had a dad that was an admiral or general in the Navy, running drugs, open up Curtis. And where are all these Mexican or Spanish people that kept on walking in and out, signing?
Army, and I catch myself doing things that I think I could have done better. I want to say.
Oh, one more thing. Dr. Pamos, tied to, I think it's the University of Utah, that was, had something with the Hopi tribe, the UN, and the, whatchamacallit, quota, other organizations, that he started on my birthday. And they would make me say things just like the jail would when you go in there. You have to read off this list. And I never seen anything like it. But they want your voice and tone and all that.
For me, money was never an issue. I've always been an entrepreneur, never run out of money, and my wife always made me feel good. However, my life was not good in many aspects. So what's wrong with you?
Oh, that's understandable.
I was like, what's wrong with you? I already work all day long, everything. I got it. I just want to say, what was wrong with me is smoking a little bit of weed at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can't, because they see what their father and mother does, and they want to.
I discovered, so being an addict is not being a loser. Being an addict is just being an addict, okay? I want to be able to copy that. So we have the information we need to prevent that lifestyle related health problem. So, the American Heart Association recommendations in order to maintain a healthy heart involve, like an hour of exercise a day, eating a balanced diet.
It's okay if,
You want to take a deep break?
yeah. Okay.
And today's my drug testing day, so you need to work with me a little bit because I fit you into I don't normally do this on Mondays because of my drug testing day, but I wanted to, just make sure that you can be a part of the group this Friday and next Friday and be done with this. Yeah. All right.
Yo la corte del infierno, acá, y como yo ahora no vi otra vez que un niño funciona, porque el progreso no tiene filas. Qué bonito. Pero todo el mundo funciona, ahora lo que quiere, y si no me tuve el barco, para otro mes, tengo que transporte, y para mí son el tiempo de cambio. Ellos no es culpa mía. Pero no puedo pagar como después quiere que vaya entonces. No tiene fila. No, ya no mandó dinero. No, si no le mandó dinero, no iniciado. No, el provecho le mandó dinero y dice, sí, aquí tengo lo que recibí. Y dice que no tienen filas. Para ganar suerte. Y luego se ve también la estrella limpia y todo. No está limpio. No hay nada.
Walk outside and just go ahead and then forward yoga and look at inside
And then the guy says, and you need to keep an eye on things because if it was for him, he could smoke a lot more. Now, I don't know if that would promote responsibility down the road, but it's very interesting. Now, when people out of these 5 things on the left side of the screen use marijuana for one of the 5 reasons, they did the risk for it. And it's asking you to think of someone in your life whom you might.
Quantity and frequency of high-risk drinking creates alcohol dependence. For example, researchers found men who have 5 to 8 drinks on any day are 9 times more likely to develop alcoholism compared to those who drink only 3 to 4. Men having 9 to 16 drinks on any day have 49 times more risk. Among women, the risk increases 24 times for those having 5 to 8 drinks in a day, and 102 times for those having 9 to 16 drinks in any day. It is just up there, anger, rage, and fear.
I'll do the full one where
Those with a history of making low risk are those with a history of brain response to just a picture of
in people's life. Now that marijuana is becoming a business, you will find all sorts of influence associated to marijuana consumption because there are someone out there who's making big bucks on it.
Oh, yeah.
Big bucks.
Yes.
I know that today that is still not federally approved in the United States, so you cannot move the money back and forth in major banks and whatnot. The business is kind of. But at this point in time, I think I read just one long ago, there's like 3 or 4 billionaires in the industry. They're becoming even more wealthy.
Filled more.
Yeah. No, there are. There are like 3 or 4 billionaires in the marijuana industry today.
Yes.
But imagine the minute that this thing gets released to federal level. Dude, it's gonna be Ford, Chevy, General Motors. I mean, anyone will jump in with me, and it's gonna be a money making. It's like the same thing with alcohol.
Yeah, with how the prohibition, it's just like, Utah was the last state to legalize it because they would make more money if it wasn't, if it's banned, but now they see it's going to be unbanned, so they're going to switch their things and make policy, and so they can make money off, it's all, they just keep on changing it.
Yeah. So we need to be careful with those groups of individuals or individuals who accept and encourage high-risk choices. People who will promote, for example, the happy hour. For most people who drink alcohol heavily, in the happy hour, it will be like, oh yeah, come here for an hour, we'll give you 2 drinks for the cost of 1. But what's not happening in hour 2? What would happen if I offer free weed? The first joint, the first heat is free. People are gonna come back for more.
Oh, just like crack.
So we cannot pretend that that's not happening. It's happening because United States live on sale. You go everywhere in the nation, any day, any given day, and it's like, grab 1 Big Mac and get the fries free. Get a Whopper and the second one is free. Buy the mattress and you get the box prison free. Buy the car and I'll give you 1 year free oil changes. Buy 1 plane ticket, I'll give you the return for free. And there's a bunch of bullshit. It sells the strategies. And alcohol and drugs do not do it.
It's marketing. Use marketing.
That's why.
Yeah. Because I heard that Curleaf.
Because we buy.
Yeah, Curleaf, the guy even said that runs it, or like that was in charge, is like, we're getting all these free samples. I don't know if he meant to say it on purpose to tell me something, or if he just said it on.
Well, my friend, being the first economy of the world give people some benefits. For example, the United States is the only country on earth where you do not have the money to buy a car, but then you drive the car you want. You don't have the money to buy a house, and then you live in a nice house. You do not have money for vacation, but you still are on vacation.
And it's just like AB, that's how I got in trouble, because they gave me, a smoke shop gave me a free CBD packet, and it's just like,
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, like, they know people will buy. One way or another, with their own money or someone else's money. And I know the business of borrowing money is a business that they don't have to pay taxes for.
Yes.
So, for example, for anyone, borrowing against your assets is the way to go. Borrow against your assets. It's cash when it comes straight.
So the time that the house caught on fire was
What do you think the future president returning to the White House has become a multi-billionaire guy? Because he borrows against his assets. Now he's being filed for $400 million fine because he inflates his assets.
Yes.
So he says the tower costs $100 million when in reality only costs $20, but he gets $100 million cash, and then he reinvests it more and more and more and more. So it's fraudulent, yes. The way they can prove it, I don't know if they can. Because that's what every billionaire is doing in the United States today. And if I was a billionaire and you were a billionaire, we would be doing exactly the same shit. Because that's the way it goes. Right?
Well,
It's how it is.
I couldn't do it that way.
Well, but it's how it is.
I know.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If I make $100,000 at the end of a year, I have to pay $20,000 about taxes. But if I have a house that is paid off and I grab a loan for $500,000, right? I grab the $500,000 loan, put it in my pocket. How much taxes I need to pay for that $500,000? It's a loan. Now I sell the house for $600,000. I pay the $500,000 that I have to back. The only thing I need to own to Uncle Sam is taxes over $100,000. So here's your 1520. Bye. I have $500,000 a year and I have to pay taxes. With the $500,000, I'm gonna buy 2 apartments. I'm on cash.
Yeah.
And with the papers, I'm gonna borrow against my house.
So you might put it in someone else's name.
More. And then you never pay taxes on the money that you borrow. So those are the type of things they do. So America is installed 24/7. You know, I'm paying a $3,000 mortgage. $1,800 out of it goes straight to the bank. Why? And this bank ain't doing nothing.
And yeah.
$1,800 to that just to say, yeah, I found that loan. Now I need to bust my ass off to pay $3,000. And only $1,200 goes to principal. By the time I'm done with a house in 30 years, how much you think I'm gonna pay for a house?
Wait.
4 times more. Who's winning?
There.
That.
Yeah.
And now, how can I play with that house? Is that I work my ass off if I try to pay it off before, and then I can borrow again my house. So again, it's major leagues game. Anyways, when people make obvious choices, alcoholism drug addiction is likely to occur. When people make obvious choices, alcoholism drug addiction is likely to occur. Obvious choices, though, help us do one thing that we always need to keep in mind. Every time we make obvious choices, we can protect the things that matter most. Unlike you, in the things I value most, I value my family. I have kids and grandkids. I have a wife who doesn't accept the fact that I use any drugs. And I don't drink and I don't use drugs because it affects me and my relationship with her. And my kids and my grandkids. So I stay out.
Mental impairment is still impairment. Evaluating or
See what happens. If you ask me today, I'll tell you need 6 months. But you get a shot. Give yourself an opportunity. Take it as a vacation. And when he mentioned the word vacation, I was like, maybe I need a vacation. And then I asked him, okay, give me the best fucking treatment available in this fucking city. I don't want to share rooms with anybody. Can I be able to bring my marshes?
Did you go to the, where Lindsay Lohan? Those ones in Park City?
No, it was in Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
It cost me $6,000 for a month back then.
Oh, that's all.
It was a top of the line treatment, and it did. We had 5-6 therapy groups every day, and I was able to see light, and that's how I realized that, oh, this is the problem, because I didn't know how to fix it. I did not. So then they said a day at a time, and that's all I could.
Just to let you guys know, your subliminal subconscious thoughts are yours. I mean,
It's been a long time now. I don't count years, but it's been 28 years. Let me go for this. And I know that I could get more cocaine and more freebays and for life.
policy enforcers. It's a policy.
The only thing they're ordered to do is just to preserve the order. If I'm not breaking the law, I'm not breaking the rules, I'm not over speeding, I'm
But
not.
look at now, the cops don't even protect and serve. They took that out. It's like a big.
Dude, I had to say that cop if they pull me over and I'm driving at 3 a.m. I'm gonna tell them straight forward. Hey officer, how are you? I'm driving. I came from a party and I'm going home. So I haven't drank in 30 years. And then I've been pulled over. And when I said that, I'm like, sir, good night. You know what I mean? So, give me one second. Luis, dígame. Sí, buenas tardes. Es hoy. Sí, puede venir ahorita si quiere. Ya estoy en la oficina. Yes. So, I've done a number of things I swear to God I would have never done if I would have kept using drugs. I'll tell you that. And this is my personal testimony, not speaking of the program. But I'm grateful that I did.
Because now you can share and help out others.
Yeah, and you do with inflation, fine. Okay, I don't need to promote this, but if this attracts others and trying to do something different, because I went to 3 different faculties. I got an associate degree in Nassau College. I was born in the U.S. My parents were in school when they first got married. Dad completed his 4 years of schooling in the East Coast, and by then my older sister and I, we both were born in the U.S. Then he moved back to Ecuador, and I grew up in Ecuador as a Ecuadorian kid, but with a U.S. passport. And then at 17, they sent me back. I finished high school in Boston, senior high school without knowing any English. I started learning how to speak English in senior high. In the next year, the following year, I went to Nassau College in New York, and I got my associate degree in arts. I wanted to become a marine biologist. My father was a shrimp farmer.
Okay.
And his first cousin was one of the pioneers of shrimp exploitation from Ecuador to the world and whatnot. And my dad was the vice president of his corporation and whatnot. So his father was a doctor. My maternal grandfather was on a gun shop because he was a retired admiral of the Navy. And I had big dreams. You know, I looked around and I had big dreams. I wanted to be a senor, you know, by the time I was 25, and then I started using cocaine in New York, because in the 80s, you didn't do cocaine, it's like being 30 and being murdered, and I was like, everybody was using it, and I loved that shit too, and so I just want to say, when I got my associate degree, I went to Ecuador for a visit, and then I noticed that I could get more cocaine and more freebase and crack for a lot cheaper than in New York. And I said to my dad, I'm not going back to the U.S. And he was like, why? I'm not. And then he was hysterical, you know, because they were paying my schooling. That's another thing I fucking regret, because I would be with a master's degree today without owning a dime, you know, so, but my reasons were different, and I ended up convincing him, and he said, okay, you stay when you go to college here, and within months I met her in college. We were in the business administration faculty, and we started dating, and within a year she ended up pregnant, and so another good excuse to stop going to school and start working. And then I went good. I went in the shrimp business with Dad first, then on my own, solo. I owned my own shrimp farm before I got the gun shop and whatnot. And then for a time I became LDS, 4 years. And I stopped drinking and using for 4 years, but then I relapsed because I never stopped being an addict.
Yeah.
And then when that shit hit, I relapsed for 3 years, and that's how I ended up in rehab. And and it was crazy. But then when rehab kicked in, the whole world changed in colors. I started seeing colors that I'm not seeing, because it wasn't for religion, it wasn't for anything. This time it was for me. Me and driving my fucking home and going to meetings to talk to NA meetings to hook up with other recovery addicts who were living the solution too. And there was people who were in business, there were people who were a lot more richer than I was, or a lot poorer, and he has all the same, but it was a different fellowship. And I went to meetings mostly every night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And after 10 p.m. I would go and kick it Dunkin' Donuts and drinking coffee until 1 in the morning, and then come back home and my wife would call me and I would answer the phone and I say, hey, babe, I'm here with such and such and such. Okay, what time are you coming home? 20 minutes. And I'll be home in 20 minutes, half an hour. You know, I wasn't drugged out. I became the person I wanted for the first time. But fucking life. You know, like no secrets, no hiding agendas. Clean cut, you know?
Nothing
external. No more secrets, no more shit. I started swimming in here, and then I was like, damn. And that's how I ended up in college. And this time, it was like, boom, out of the stadium. You know, president of the student faculty for 3 fucking years in a row without any fucking effort. With the same attention deficit disorder that I always had, with the same anxiety that I always had. Without weed, without alcohol, without shit. I was like, damn, I was able to say, hey, let's go party. Gotta go. Go home with my kids, my family, but by choice. I don't think I'm a strong person, to tell you the truth. But I was able to taste the flavor of becoming a stronger person than I was when I was able to say, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
and willpower.
I abstain. I will abstain. And then, this is willpower. But took off. Nothing to prove to anyone, you know. And then when I came to Utah, you know, it took me a couple of years before I got my master, because I had 4 kids, and it was difficult. But then they gave me the advanced timing program, and
Stone Park Complex, 281 East, 9 South, 112.
I'm ready for your payment. How much is in here?
125.
It's 250.
Oh, you said I can bring half, next time.
Oh, okay. Did I put that? I go with it. I take it. So now I know that you are here. The 27th.
Oh, I put, I don't know.
27th. No, it's the day that you're here. 24th. There we go. You right? That's it. Do me a favor. In the very first page of the book, put your name in there on top. Right here. Right here. Very good. Because you won't be taking this book until you're done with the class. 95.
Okay, that's enough for now. Yeah, I just bought some sunglasses, and I looked, and the pages were all fuzzy and hard to read. And then I'm like, I remember this is like the third time that they're asking me to read some stuff. Hmm. And why is there so many massage places there? And why does the Church of Jesus Christ have a building right there? And so many drug classes or massage parlors or and then oh yeah, Maui, MUA or something. I'll find out. That's all for right now.